Ford just took the F-150 and gave it a factory street truck attitude. Lower stance, aero kit, and 22s. They're calling it Lobo, and it's aimed right at the folks who love a clean, low look without the headache of piecing it together at a shop. In the next few minutes, I'll show you what Lobo really is, the traps to avoid in the build, and who should buy this over a Silverado RST. Pay off first, then we rewind. Lobo is an STX-based package with a -2-inch rear drop, a 10-piece ground effects kit, 22-inch gloss black wheels on street rubber, a unique grille with a light bar, and a full blackout vibe with Lobo badging. It's V8 only, 5.0 Coyote, 4-wheel drive only with a 2-speed transfer case, SuperCrew with a 5.5-foot bed, and it starts around $59,995 with destination when you build it Ford's way. No factory power bump. The play is stance now, bolt-ons later. If you live on pavement and want drama without drama, that's the core idea. But the details are where people win or waste money. 1. What Lobo actually is. 30-second dive. Think of Lobo as a factory street kit that finally saves you from will this clear group chat roulette. The look comes from that ground effects dos aero kit, the cowl-style hood, the dual exhaust finishers, and those 22s wrapped in proper street tires. The truck sits visually lower, even before you notice the rear drop. It's the first time in a while Ford's sold the stance you see at Cars and Coffee, from the factory, instead of making you chase springs, alignment specs, and guesswork. And there's a catch most people miss. 2. Price, slotting, and the fine print buyers overlook. The Lobo package itself adds roughly $4,700 to an STX build, but Ford forces a tight recipe: V8 plus 4-wheel drive plus SuperCrew 5.5 bed. That's how you end up near $59,995, including destination. Could a dealer move that number around? Sure. Fees, incentives, market. But the headline here is Ford is curating the spec so the stance and hardware match. Orders are opening, trucks landing this fall. If you're comparing to a bare-bones STX price you saw last year, you're not comparing equals. And under the sheet metal, Ford made choices on purpose. 3. Under the skin, V8 or bust, capability kept. Every Lobo comes with the 5.0-liter Coyote, about 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet, backed by a 2-speed transfer case. No, it's not a factory Dynaflex. It is a truck that sounds right, looks right, and still tows and hauls in the real world. Ballpark it at approximately 7,900 pounds tow and approximately 1,450 pounds payload, depending on options. Translation: you can still bring the toys and weekly Home Depot runs won't scare it. If you wanted a tune and long tubes out of the box, that's not Lobo's job. So what is Ford actually selling here? 4. The real play. Looks now, mods later, without nuking your warranty. Ford knows street truck folks model. Day 2 is usually intake, catback, maybe a conservative tune. The brand's angle is simple: sell you the vibe from the factory, then let Ford Performance handle the go-bits so your warranty stays friendly. That's smarter than dropping 10 grand at a mystery shop and praying your service writer had coffee. It also means your alignment specs and tire wear were validated for the stance you're running. You get the lightning energy look without pretending it's a track truck. And yes, this pokes GM right where it counts. 5. Who Ford is hunting and what Chevy offers instead. If you're in a Silverado RST/Redline crowd, 22s, blackout, street attitude, you know Chevy sells the look, but not a factory drop. You either roll stock height or start mixing springs and shims. Lobo makes the lowered vibe the default, zero guesswork. That's exactly the buyer Ford is eyeing. Folks who love street stance but want the OEM path, the OEM financing, and the OEM warranty. If that's you, Ford just made switching irritatingly easy. Let's map each buyer so you're not guessing. 6. Who should buy a Lobo and who should stay put? Daily driver who lives on pavement. Lobo is built for you. It's the looks fast, rides normal spec. Keep it stock for a year, learn the truck, then add Ford-approved bolt-ons. Show lot, regular, Bosch detail obsessive. The 22s, blackout trim, light bar, and cowl hood bring the "did you lower it" comments with factory fitment. No rubbing, no weird tire wear, no camber drama. Light towing weekend toys. You're fine. The low range and V8 manners make boat ramps and you turns easy. If you tow heavy and often, price a non-Lobo Max tow and be honest about your life. Chasing pure performance numbers. Hold your cash. Lobo is the canvas, not the finished painting. If your joy is 0 to 60, wait to see the Day 2 parts and talk to your service department about keeping coverage intact. 7. Mini lesson so you don't get burned on setup. Street trucks live or die by geometry. A lower rear and a deeper front air dam change approach Bosch departure angles. If your daily route includes steep driveways, ferry ramps, or speed humps, measure once, cry 0. On wheels, pay attention to load rating when you swap rubber. Big truck, small letters on the sidewall still matter. The nicest part of a factory stance is that the alignment targets are known. That's half of why Lobo exists. Clean look, less guesswork. Ford built the starter kit for a modern Lightning-style scene, without calling it Lightning. You get V8 noise, street stance, and a known chassis for mods, priced to feel reachable next to today's $70,000 to $80,000 toys. It's a platform. Buy the vibe today, bolt on tomorrow, keep your paperwork calm. That's the whole chess move. If that helped the Lobo click into place, subscribe so you don't miss next week's breakdown. The best Day 2 mods that keep warranty comfort, plus tire and brake picks that make the truck stop and turn like it looks. We do buyer math here, not buzzwords. 8. Spec cheat sheet. 90 seconds that saves you hours. Must-haves for most. The Lobo package, obviously. Factory bed liner and all-weather liners. Those protect resale better than any chrome doodad. If you tow, add the integrated trailer brake controller and proper tow mirrors before you blow cash on cosmetic bits. Capability beats clout when you're reversing on a hill. If you drive spirited, budget early for pads, Bosch lines, and a true performance tire when the factory set wears. Big wheels don't stop a truck, compound does. Avoid conflicts. Lobo doesn't play with certain appearance posh tow bundles. Build in one lane, street look lane or tech tow lane. Don't try to stack everything. Ford will block it, and you'll rebuild twice. Color reality. Decide your color, plus Lobo combo before you fall in love with photos. Some hues don't show on every STX-based configuration. Save yourself the respec. 9. The rivalry question everyone will ask. Is this better than a Silverado RST? Depends on what you value. RST nails the street-inspired look and still rides nicely. But if you want the factory-lowered vibe and the OEM warranty baked into that stance, Lobo is the cleaner path. If you love your Chevy dealer and your current truck, cool, drive it. If you've wanted that lower, wider feel without a parts hunt, Ford just did the homework for you. 10. Ownership math nobody talks about. A stock height truck with aftermarket drop parts can be awesome. It can also be a science project. Alignments, tire wear, scraping, ride quality. It's a lot of almost right until you buy the right parts twice. Lobo's value isn't only the parts on the window sticker, it's the time and uncertainty you don't pay for. That's why the price makes sense once you add up a quality drop. Paint-matched aero, wheels, tires, and a couple of shop visits. My take? Lobo isn't trying to out-Raptor the Raptor or resurrect SVT Lightning numbers. It's a factory vibe play. The stance you want, the sound you want, and the mod runway wide open. If your life is pavement, meets, photos, and the occasional trailer, it lands the punch. If you're chasing time slips, give the aftermarket 6 months and do it with Ford Performance so your service desk stays friendly. You can now spec a Lobo in 10 minutes without stepping on rakes. V8 plus 4-wheel drive plus SuperCrew. Add the Lobo package, confirm tow bits before appearance add-ons, lock color that actually pairs with STX Lobo, set aside budget for pads, tires, and ignore conflicting bundles. Congrats! You're already shopping smarter than half the internet. Ford didn't reinvent the truck, they focused it. Lobo gives you instant street presence, zero alignment drama, and enough utility to still be a truck on Monday. If this helped you skip mistakes and build with confidence, hit subscribe so you don't miss next week's warranty-safe mod guide and my tire brake picks for heavy daily use. Drop your use case in the comments. Miles per year, towing weight, must-have options, and I'll help you dial the build that fits your driveway, not the brochure.